Welcome everyone to our week one of module Introduction to Digital Transformation. In this session, we will explore how digital technologies are reshaping modern businesses, economies, organizations, and even our day-to-day experiences as professionals and consumers. This topic really sets the foundation for understanding not just technology itself, but how it drives business change, strategic management, and transformation in terms of innovation and value creation. Right. So in this session, by the end of the session, I would have expected that you should be able to understand how digital technologies are influencing organizations and entire economies. And also, you recognize the key shifts from the analog to the digital age and what these means for your business operations. You also be able to define and differentiate types of digital innovations and also understand the stages of digital innovation. And finally, last but not the least, is the explain how digital transformation links with innovation as a continuous strategic process. These outcomes form the backbone of what we will explore today and throughout this module. Okay, I hope you all understand the learning outcomes of this session. Right. As you can see on the screen, that this is more about the relevance of digital technologies to management graduates. So you see that 58% of UK bosses admit that they are not good at understanding or managing technology, whereas the 47% have not considered the impact of automation on jobs. Now, let's think about why all of this matter to you as future managers and business leaders. As you can see that many UK managers still struggle to understand or manage technology effectively. In fact, over half admit this themselves. Automation is already transforming how organizations hire and operate. Some entry level jobs are disappearing altogether. Often, technology is left to the IT team rather than seen as strategic issue. But companies like Uber and Airbnb have shown us that technology is the business, not just a support function. So as management and computing graduates, you must learn to see technology as central to strategy and leadership. Okay, so moving on to the next one, you can see digital technologies. When we talk about digital technologies, we mean the full spectrum from mobile computing and cloud services to data analytics. AI and the Internet of Things. Well, this has gone to Internet of Everything now. Isolated tools, they form interconnected ecosystems that enable innovation, efficiency, and new business models. So as we go through along the module, we will keep returning to how these technologies combine to drive transformation. I hope this is setting up the expectation of this module now. Right. So digital, we are looking at digital economics, how supply and demand behave differently in a digital world. So digital products often have very low marginal cost. Once created, they can be replicated almost infinitely at near zero cost. So this shifts the traditional supply curve, and competition becomes about innovation and differentiation rather than just production cost. So digital transformation also challenges our basic economic assumption. I hope it's explanatory. And obviously, if you got any questions, you can post that in the chat. Right. So digitization, Moore's law, and network effects. These are very important three components which we are going to discuss today. So these three key principles underpin digital transformation. As mentioned earlier, digitization, and this means is that converting physical processes and content into digital form. Whereas Moore's law, it is about the idea that computing power doubles roughly every 2 years while costs fall. And in relation to the network effects, it is like where a product or service becomes more valuable as more people use it. So together, these three drive the rapid and exponential changes we are witnessing in every day industry today. Right. Then we have is more of a class discussion on how does Airbnb's business model exploit the network effects of digital technologies. So I will leave this task with all of you to actually discuss that, perform a bit of a research on internet, browse internet, find the facts, discuss that, and then we will have a class discussion afterwards. But remember that the what we are looking into it, that how does their business model take advantage of network effects? This is a kind of a thing which we are looking into it. And as most hosts join, the platform attracts more guests. As more guests join it, it attracts more hosts. So this self-reinforcing loop is a perfect example of how digital platforms create exponential value. But I will leave it with you guys to actually perform a bit of research and let me have a discussion with you guys. Right. So, in terms of this slide, we see that customer changes from the analog to digital age. We all have witnessed it. Even the table from and to represents all this transition. So, in the analog world, businesses reach customers mainly through mass marketing, think TV, AdWords, print AdWords, etc., and etc. But in the digital age, customers are connected, empowered, and vocal. They expect personalization, instant service, and constantly so they're looking for understanding this shift is essential for designing digital strategies that truly resonate. Okay, in this mass market model, you can see that on the screen that there is an organization. It has got a mass production, mass communication, and customers, and these dots are representing the customers in here. So you can see that. These lines represents the old world of marketing, where companies pushed standardized products to a broad audience. The relationship was one way, and customers' feedback loops were slow or non existent at all. It worked in the industrial age, but not in a hyper connected digital economy, which we are all living together at this moment of time. Okay, then we have a customer network model. By contrast, the digital age now operates on a network model where the customers are no longer passive recipients. They are part of the brand experience. They share reviews, create content, and shape perceptions. So businesses must now engage customers as collaborators, not just buyers. Okay. Then we have the competition between analog versus digital age. In the analog age, competition was often predictable and linear, whereas companies competed within their own industries. Today, competition is cross-industry and disruptive, and across the border as well. So, a tech startup can challenge an established bank, or a social media company can influence retail trends. So, as an outcome, the digital age blurs traditional boundaries now. This is something we need to keep that in mind. Right. So digitization and business process view. This diagram, this is a very colorful diagram, and I believe that this is very much engaging. And this diagram shows how digitization touches every function from procurement to HR to marketing. So each process can be reimagined through technology, automation tasks, integrating systems, and improving customers' experience. This holistic view helps us understand that digital transformation is not just about tools, it's about process of re-engineering. Okay, right. So the impact of digitization on service processes. So services, I believe that the modern services combine physical and informational elements. For instance, a mortgage application once required used to get to the branch. Today, technology separates those elements. The informational part can happen anywhere instantly. So digitization increases flexibility, scalability, and not last but is the reach of the customer and the technology itself. Right. So this digitization and the mobility of service, this framework helps us assess how mobile a service can be. So services high in information content but low in physical presence regulation are easiest to globalize or outsource. That's why call centers, data analysis, and ID services have become international industries. Okay. here we talk about which professions are vulnerable to automation. I think this is something very interesting that although there are some benefits, there are quite a few benefits of AI and the digitization of the modern organizations, but how it is going to have an impact on the jobs we are doing right now. So as automation advances, some professionals are at greater risk than others. Routine repetitive tasks, whether manual or cognitive, are most vulnerable. Creative, interpersonal, and strategic roles are most resilient. That is why digital literacy and adaptability are key to your long-term career success. Okay, now this is more about a class exercise. So the situation is given to you guys. You need to go through this one and then you have to discuss that in groups and then bring your findings. But just in a bit of a review, you have McClover's framework to your own career. Think about which part of your job could be outsourced and which require creativity, human judgment, or local expertise. So understanding this helps you future-proof your career in a digital economy. Okay. Right. And then we have a framework of for understanding digital transformation. This is quite self-explanatory. You can see there are different sections of this. So this slide introduces a holistic framework showing how digital technologies, innovation, and transformation interact. We will use it to link the theories and examples we discussed throughout the module. Okay. Now, the next slide, slide 18 and 19, is probably the continuation of the similar concepts where we talk about digital innovation is about creating new ways of delivering value using digital technologies, whether that's a new product, service, or business process. So, digital transformation is the result. When these innovations reshape entire organizational process, transformation is the outcome. So, remember, guys, a slight difference, it's a fine line difference between the innovation is where you innovate the product. So whereas the outcome is called the transformation. Okay. This is again the continuation of the previous one where we talk about the digital transformation can occur either at the process, product, or business level model. So there is no one size fits all in here that innovation can only happen at a very high level, at the bottom level, or the middle level. So it can happen even at a process, product, or a business level. Okay. So digital process transformation. So process transformation changes how things get done inside organizations. So it might mean automation workflows, improving decision making with data, or using AI to enhance student engagement. It's about working smarter, but remember, not working harder. Okay. So continuation of this slide is the reimagining what you sell. So think of smartphones, smart TVs, or connected cars, and then the traditional products infused with digital capabilities. So often the value lies not in the product itself, but in the surrounded it apps, data, and services in this situation. Okay. So business model transformation, a significantly new way of creating and capturing business value that is embodied in or enabled by IT. So this is the most radical form in which we're changing how value is created and captured. Google's ad-sponsored model or Netflix subscription model are classic examples, and digital technologies make these innovations possible by connecting users, data, and revenue streams in new way. Right. So now we have to speak about the implications of digitization, Moore's law, and network effects for digital innovation. As you remember that we have spoken about these three key principles in one of the slides above. So remember, these forces drive four big outcomes. The first one is more personalized product and services. The second is the faster innovation cycles. And third is new digital marketing channels have emerged. And then the fourth one is data-driven innovation opportunities. So each of these reshapes industries and creates competitive advantage for those who adapt them. So remember, if some organization is not adapting the modern technology, so there is a very high chance that they're going to be obsoleted from the market in next couple of years' time. Right. So we have how AI drives business process innovation. This is the era of AI. So how can that be not just into the digital transformation? So artificial intelligence accelerates transformation in three ways. First one is the process automation. Second is the cognitive insight, and then cognitive engagement. When we talk about the process automation, we mean here is that handling repetitive rule-based tasks using tools like robotic process automation. And when we talk about cognitive insights, we're talking about analyzing vast data sets to reveal trends, predict behavior, or detect risk. And third, cognitive using chatbots and intelligent agents to interact with customers and employees 24 by 7. So you are not restricted to the time availability. So remember, AI doesn't just make processes faster, it makes them smarter as well. Okay, so we have this cognitive side and all that, and this is all about. We have discussed that. So, and now we're going to get to the class exercise in which we talk about critically how the NHS could use digital technologies more effectively, as this is related to the human health. So, for example, we can do virtual consultations, AI diagnostics, or data analytics for resource allocation. So, but remember that you got to find out in other ways the NHS the technology to enhance its processes and make a better world for the patients. Okay, digital transformation and key concepts. This slide is the core ideas of digital transformation, strategy, culture, innovation, and the leadership. So technology is only one piece, and the real challenge lies in aligning people and processes with digital goals. So it is very, very difficult to actually align people around those goals. When we have industry disruptions and transformations, here we see real world examples of disruption, industries reshaped by new entrants and technologies. So, from taxis to retail to media, every sector faces digital pressure. And our task is to understand the patterns behind these shifts. So, remember, if an organization is not going to be aligned their objectives in terms of the digital transformation, they are going to be obsoleted from the market very quickly. Reality of digital transformation. This is a crucial point. Guys, please remember that digital transformation is not about technology itself, it's about strategy, how you're going to use the technology strategically into the organizations to make the resources and the situation better. So, the true value comes from changing how you do business, not just adopting new tools. It's about using technology to deliver new value to customers and society. I hope that clarifies. We have five digital transformations. So this slide and the next one is a continuation of the myths. So, and finally, a reality check. Not every company needs to transform. Not all innovation comes from emerging tech, and profitable companies are not always the best innovators. So transformation requires vision, leadership, and sometimes the courage to disrupt your own success. So executives modern days talk a lot about transformation, but genuine strategic change is rare and very, very difficult. So we understand that. And finally, we have some resources for you guys. So these are the key academic and industry sources for today's lecture. I encourage you to read at least one or two of these papers to deepen your understanding, especially the works by Rogers, Fitchman, and Davenport. They are very, very important and nice, good works. So these provide excellent insights into how theory meets real-world digital transformation. Okay. It is very clear now that the week about the digital transformation, we have already spoken about different aspects, and we have set up the context for the rest of the week. In that case, I will. You have got my email address as well as you got my contacts. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. But if you got any questions, so please do not hesitate to contact me via any of the channels. Thank you very much, and have a lovely day ahead.